Hey guys, good morning. So, I'm in rare form today. No, I'm not. I'm on here like always, just thinking of things that I can share that will be beneficial to my audience and to other people who may not be currently following me, but may be looking for helpful tips and information on this topic. Um, I'm a single mother, and I have a child, or I've experienced having a child who had behavioral issues that were related to diet. Um, and I'm sharing this because there are a lot of people who are single mothers, a lot of people who need this information, and they need the information the right way, not the information that's going to have you go into placing your child in a box, per se, attaching a label to them and putting them on medication. So I'm here to share my story to give you hope, because thankfully I did not have to experience this part of him while I was a single parent. I was married. But had I had to experience that, I would have, I really don't even know what I would have done. And I'm thanking God that I had the help and we got help for him. And he's now 17. He'll be 18 this year. So, and we don't have any issues with him. He's a normal child. But one thing it's good to do is to pay close attention to exactly what you're experiencing. What is your child doing? What are your child's habits as far as their eating habits, who they're around? Pay close attention to more so their eating habits. Because if you're someone that sends your child to school and they haven't been to school but maybe an hour or two, and you're already getting a phone call that your child is throwing things, or, flipping over the desks, or ripping things off the wall, or just a very aggressive behavior because they were told no, or just something that they did not want to do and then they went on a tangent. Typically, you would immediately think to take your child to either a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Now, a psychologist is going to make certain references to how they think, the brain, and make certain habits for your child or things for you to do to help try and control the urges or to just redirect their thinking, etc. A psychiatrist, on the other hand, is going to place your child on medication. And with my son, it started when he was about 2 years old. At 2 years old, it's weird because it wasn't until I had my twins that it started being overboard. So my oldest was 2.5 at the time, and then I had twins. So I had 3 under 3, which was, oh my gosh, thank God I was married. But once the twins came and all the attention was on them.
In 1 mile at the roundabout, take the second exit.
The boy band on Waze. Anyway, it was literally as if, we thought it was just a reaction to the jealousy of his new siblings and the attention being taken away from him. Took him to a psychologist. They had labeled him as oppositional defiant. And then a psychiatrist wanted to put him on medication. Thankfully, we did not put him on medication. We took him to I guess you would say he's more of like a holistic doctor, but he was a chiropractor. But he did holistic, he gave holistic advice. And because we knew him, it was like, okay, let's try something different. Immediately, he gave us a list of sugar-free, gluten-free.
0.1 miles at the roundabout, take the second exit.
Yes, so basically what we did was we took him off of sugar.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
He does not eat sugar at all. Now, if for any reason he has like some cereal or something like that, we make sure that it's typically like not over 4 or 5 grams. He uses sugar substitute, which I know there's plenty of people that are going to have something to say about that. However, regardless of what you say about that, he's definitely much
in 1 mile
healthier.
At the roundabout, continue straight.
He's definitely healthier than he was, and he's functional. He's not. He's a very healthy child. So I don't want to hear anything about the sugar substitutes and all of that. That's for a person that's missing the point of this video. So he basically uses Truvia for cereals and stuff like that.
In a quarter of a mile at the roundabout, continue straight.
We basically, and he's been sugar-free since he was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, and he's 17 now. So for like ice cream and stuff like that, Breyers has an all-natural ice cream, so it doesn't affect him. If we go somewhere else,
at the roundabout, continue straight.
If we go somewhere else, we typically will do make sure that they have a sugar-free, whether it's cookies, ice cream, whatever. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more options at the grocery stores now. There's sugar-free everything. There's sugar-free cookies. There's sugar-free cakes that you can bake. They sell cakes that are sugar-free. There's a lot of sugar-free options. So for us, taking him off of sugar was a game changer. Now just imagine had we not taken him off sugar and we listened to the psychiatrist and put my child on medication. That would have been something that they would have made us feel like he needed to take for the rest of his life, and he would not have been able to function, or that this is something that would have affected him if he did not take it as an adult. And someone that's oppositional defiant basically means that they know the right thing to do, but they choose to do the opposite. My child is not oppositional defiant. He was reacting that way because of the things that his body counteracted. It did not function properly within his system. And when I think back to my history, my great-grandmother died at 34 because there was something that she ate that caused her to, in their minds back then, be psychotic, and she was put in a mental institution and she died because of it. So one thing that we don't realize is there's a lot of things that are being put in our foods that we don't even really know that's in our foods. Okay, so there are things that triggers things in our bodies that is the main cause of illnesses and diseases, and the reason why certain people have certain effects on their mental, and they think it's just something from their genes or that they're born with, when in turn it actually comes from what they're eating. So it's not coincidental excuse me, that we have all of these autism cases. It's not coincidental that we have all of these ADHD cases. All of this stuff is coming from what is being placed in your diet. A lot of people can't have gluten. A lot of people can't have sugar. And I can guarantee you that if you have a child that is having like extreme behavioral problems, that if you stop giving them sugar in the morning and a dessert at night, or they're eating excessive carbohydrates which break down to sugar, just try it. And the thing is that I hear some people say, that would alter my whole life. Is your child more important than you having to switch up, how you're used to shopping and how you're used to doing things? It really isn't that big of an adjustment. It really isn't, because if your child needs to be sugar-free, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be sugar-free. You just make better choices for your child to be healthy, and I think that is what is most important. That's what's key. I have a family member that has a daughter that has the same problem, although her problem is worse. She's 3 years old. She's been kicked out of almost 3 daycares. Kicked out. Not suspended, but kicked out. So if she's been kicked out of daycares at 3, if it's not addressed and if it's not taken seriously, what do you think is going to happen when that child gets in grade school? What do you think is going to happen when that child gets older and other children that don't know that she has an issue that needs to be addressed, she's getting in fights all the time. It becomes worse as you get older if you do not take it seriously. Don't just sit there and label your child or let someone else label your child and say, oh, they're just bad and they need their butt beat. No, they do not. My child used to get a spanking all the time. Popped. Did nothing to him, did not faze him whatsoever, because it wasn't a behavior that he could control. So what the most important part right now is for you to understand that everything starts typically with what you put in your mouth. We have no clue what's being put in these foods, all these preservatives, that type of cornstarch, not cornstarch, but the high fructose corn syrup that's in foods. It really affects you, and it's a part of the reason why, eating a lot of carbohydrates, eating a lot of sugar can cause diabetes and all of that. It can cause diabetes, and it can also trigger other things in people. Some people can eat sugar their whole life and not get diabetes. It affects different people differently. So I'm only doing this video because it came across my mind, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to share with women who are a single mother, who are dealing with a child who has behavioral issues.
In 1 mile, turn right.
And dealing with a child like this as a single parent is exhausting. I could not imagine being someone that's being called at my job to come and pick up my child, once every few weeks or whatever, or every week, because my child is acting out. As a single parent, you can't afford to lose a job based on a child that isn't listening and paying attention. You can't. I know that my boy band is about to start talking. Is he? Maybe not. So, yes, I'm not going to keep you guys forever, but there is proof in the pudding. I did it, and it worked for me, and I have a child who's in the 11th grade now, has not had any issues with schooling.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
He is a normal functioning child. Normal functioning child. And if you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to email me or comment below if you have any questions, and I will answer anything I think may be helpful to you. Is the boy band coming?
Turn right.
I knew it. Look, I'm about to pass my turn because of this thing. Anyway, I'm going to go and leave you guys with that. If you are new to my channel and you are a parent, a single parent, know a single parent that can benefit from any information that I have just shared, definitely share it with them. If there's any other information that I can share with you concerning, thank you, Holy Spirit. There's one thing that I forgot to mention, because a lot of people don't know that this is something that you can do. Because I was having issues with my son, because I had already taken him to a psychologist, I had documentation from the doctors that I was dealing with these things with him, behavioral issues with him. You can qualify for Social Security for your child. Imagine how much that would help you to find and pay for the foods that child needs to eat in order to make life easier. I was getting about $640 a month for my child, one child. So a lot of people don't know that that is even an option. It's way beyond your child just being bad. It's way beyond your child, just not wanting to listen and just wanting to be defiant. Your child may actually need
In half a mile, turn right.
Your child may actually not be able to control the experiences or the impulses and may need their diet to be changed. Do not put your child on medication. Explore the holistic option first and change the diet. Take your child to a holistic doctor that can give you a diet that may benefit them because of their behavior. And then go and apply for Social Security for your child. All right. I hope this helps someone because it definitely helped me.
In 0.1 miles, turn right and then turn left.
I'm sorry, guys, for this intrusion. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, and I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and thumbs this video up and share. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Turn